Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Dirty Trucking. 12:36 a.m. on this Easter morning. Everybody have a happy Easter out there. I don't have any small kids to be doing Easter dinner for, but I would like to participate in the festivities. But I don't have the funds to spare to go buy Easter dinner. But I used to color the Easter eggs, so maybe before I get home, finish with my day, I can find a 24 hours Walmart or Walgreens open and get some Easter egg colors. I wish Walmart go back to 24 hours because that would be wonderful. So this video is what happened that I expected to happen has happened. My new bank account is in the negative again of $59.78. Why? Because that payment of $293, which was outstanding. Now remember, it didn't get paid. Remember. So finally it came in. $293.30 that was initiated on Friday the 11th. Finally shows up in the account 8 fucking days later. And I'm letting you know that they be changing this shit. It's almost as if they're watching my videos. Because 1 minute it'll post in a couple of days. Next minute they make it wait. I think they're doing it to cover their tracks of what they've been doing. You have been taking... I'm still saying you're stealing. You're stealing. You're stealing. And if nobody's paying attention to their account, you getting extra money out of them. Like you try to get out of me. So, I'm in the negative $59.78. But while I was sitting here, after I snapped a picture of it on my tablet, there's a white outline going around the phone. I don't know what the fuck this is. It's like some alien shit going on with a picture. This is a picture that's on the tablet. And there's a white line going around the outline of the phone. And I'm going to let you see it without exposing too much of my information. You see the white line? See I'm in the negative? Look at the white line. It's going around the whole phone. Look at it. Like somebody is drawing around the phone. Look at it. This is a picture you're looking at. Fuck is that? It's a picture. How can a white line be going around a picture on a phone? This is a picture of the phone. This is a picture. How is a white line going around in a picture? Fuck is that? Well, as you can see, the $293.30 is pending as of April 19th. And as you can see, Dirty Trucking did have a little money in her account. But, since I've been doing this Uber shit, this is usually where I'm at. In the negative now here lately. It's just a trail of negative. I can't never seem to have any money. Because it's always a fucking Hertz purchase coming in when I get any kind of goddamn money. So, Hertz, I don't know what you're doing. The reason why it took this post to the 9th to come in. Well, I know why it did. Because you somehow went over into the Huntington Bank and took the money out of the Huntington Bank that you really didn't have no access to anymore because you created a new contract with my new banking debit card. But I was puzzled to find that $293.30 came out of that account and took the overdraft from $262 to now $556? And then the day before yesterday, I told you I was sitting over there in the Easter Market. Sitting over there at Easter Market now. You see, pending Hertz, $293.30. This is the transaction that was done on the 11th. That showed up over in the Huntington Bank account. But look at this white line. I don't know what the fuck this is. This is a picture with a white line going just around the outline of the phone. This is a picture of the phone that you look at. This is the picture of the screenshot of the phone. So, as you can see, oh, never mind. I tapped the screen and it stopped. The three little boxes was up top that said copy, do something, and I tapped the screen and then it did a little white line stop. Let me see if I can get it to come back up. Oh, that's what did it. Copy, add sticker, share. That's what did it. This is what did it. As long as that is up there, you see the white line circling. Copy, add sticker, share. Oh, that's what did it. Because I like to investigate. I like to get the bottom of strange ass shit. You see the white line going around. Now, when I tap it and make it go away, it stops. It stopped. No more white lines. Well, that problem is solved. I thought there was some alien shit going on with a photograph. Well, like I said, I told you what I suspected happened. I've been in the negative. I've had no money, all dealing with this rideshare shit. And all this shit started after I came back from the cruise. After I came back from our high school reunion cruise in 23 in November, it's been all downhill. All downhill. Because I just got with Uber in August of 23. And during that time frame between August and that cruise in November, people were finding out where I worked at, what I did for income after I left. After that, I ended up going from that trucking company because of that hazmat placement on the container issue, and which they were wrong for, but people were finding out where I worked at, what I did for income. Now, you see what I'm dealing with. See, when people get in your business, this is what you deal with. This is what you deal with. Goddamn negative account. That's what you deal with. It's a financial attack that I'm under. That account is in the negative. The Huntington Bank is in the negative. And I still owe with another bank, Chase Bank, because the same thing. I think I was with Hertz using a Chase Bank Hertz card. Something came in and overdrew the account. And while I was getting the account back current, I think I owe $115 on it. When they did what they did, they end up closing the account. Now, if they can close the account when it's in the negative, why couldn't Huntington close the account when it was in the negative to prevent them from sending that money over there? This shit is leaving. This shit and how they process their payments is leaving a trail of negativity all over the place. But they've been watching, I believe they've been watching my videos because they change how long it takes for the shit to post. I told you when I first got to this company in August of 23, they would debit the card and then it would show posted in just a matter of days. It was after when I got locked out the car on Thanksgiving Eve at the grocery store, and they called that guy, the locksmith, to come help me get the car keys out the trunk, and they paid him. That's when they went back in the account and took all this additional money that led to a ricochet of stuff going on and getting additional monies out of me. You know, it's all kind of ways to get additional monies out of me. And I could tell when that incident happened that they was doing a lot of lying back and forth. So, but back to this, I'm in the negative $59.78. And so I wanted to see what the $293.30 is doing in the Huntington account now. Because I told you on Thursday, I was sitting over there at the Eastern Market, finishing up my McDonald's, I get an email from the bank telling me that $293.30 was deposited in my account, labeled miscellaneous. I have never seen anything labeled miscellaneous come in my account at all. It's either supposed to be for a transaction or a reversal of something, a reversal of a provision. It's supposed to say something. I ain't never seen miscellaneous. So that lets you know that somebody was watching my account for them to do that. Because I didn't see that it was in the negative $556 until, what was it, Wednesday? I said I saw it. Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it was. And then Thursday, I get a miscellaneous deposit of $293.30. Who doing that? Who watching my account like that? Maybe the bank is on high alert trying to catch this activity. I told you, it's all kinds of ways to steal and get money out of people. And the way they process their payments here, it's fucking ridiculous. All this shit. You know how many drivers come up to that location? I was in there the other day when I renewed this on the 11th. Driver in there said he been driving for Uber for 8 years. Talking about he just had to pay $300 and something because of the way they process this shit. They shouldn't be allowed to charge your card and let it fall off when they know they're going to turn around and post it. What they're doing is verbally, I was talking to the bank and she was explaining how they do. She said, this is what she said, and this is what they started doing. This is what she said. She said they'll pre-authorize your card, and then normally they'll wait till the end of the week and then do a hard post. That ain't what they were doing. That's the way she explained what they were doing. I'm telling you, that's not what they were doing. I've been looking at this for a long time. That's not what they were doing. It is not. When I first got here with this company, they would take the payment. It would post as paid in a matter of days. It was the next day, really, within 1 to 2 days. It was after I went on that goddamn cruise, and that shit happened with the car, with that Toyota, where I got locked out the car, and they paid that guy that I ended up with additional monies coming out of my account. They caused me to have to dispute it to find out that they did charge me inappropriately. They added something in there that they weren't supposed to. They took it out. Then they charged me for an additional day. That's taking money from your own customers. Why can't you update your form of payment without having to close the contract? I never understood that. Out of all this stuff we pay online, if you need to update your form of payment, they got to wait for you to update your form of payment. But not with the rental car. Why? And they told me it was about they have all the money on hold that you paid for the car. And then I talked to the bank about that. They said, well, it's not here at the bank. They said when they debit your card and it's posted, they already have the money. Now, whatever vault or dresser drawer or wherever you got that shit at, it has nothing to do with the bank. And that my bank confirmed that. So that's not really a reason to prevent them from fixing their website to where if the customer needs to change their form of payment, for any reason, you can end up having to change your payment, not because something happened and you disputed a charge and had to get a new card. You also, there's another way you end up having to change your form of payment. That your debit card, the backup, it has an expiration date. They're going to send you a new card. It's going to be the same number, but a different CVV code. That's another reason you may have to update your debit card. Now, hopefully on that case, when that happens, the bank normally sends that to you and you get it in a timely fashion that when it's time to readjust your rental, renew, you already had that in your possession. But you're going to go out there, close the contract, just so they can update the debit card. I never understood that. I mean, they keep talking about all this money that's on hold for what you paid on the car. Okay, you already got that money. That's what I understand. You done debited the account. All the payments that are posted, you have that money. You have that. Except for whatever's pending doing this little bullshit that they do with the falling off shit. They should not be allowed to debit anybody's card and then turn around and let that shit fall off. Period. Because what they're doing now is not what they're doing. They're doing it because the bank lady that I talked to at the new bank said that's what their process usually is. And they're making it look like this is what they've been doing to cover up the money they've been taking. I told you they sent that damn invoice trying to collect money that was already paid. When you receive, and I know it's paid because I've been watching the process. If you charge the car, now, but they've updated their form of receipts now. They're changing the way they send receipts now. They also have updated how you get in contact with them if the payment don't go through. Or they don't do automatic debit. They've made some changes, but they didn't do any major change to updating that debit card information, which causes this whole problem. And they didn't make a change to when they process the payment. But what they're doing is changing it up, trying to cover up what they're doing. They're trying to make it look like this is what they've been doing, that we'll debit your card on Friday and we're not going to post it to the account until after you make the next payment, and then that payment will post. That's not what they've been doing. And I'm telling you, that's not what they've been doing. So, the stealing part, when they sent that invoice, let me tell you something because I've been watching them. This is before they started sending this new invoice with the barcode, the little white page on the paper, through the email. They would debit my card. And then when it was time to auto extend the next Friday, I would be debited again. And then I would receive a receipt for the previous week. That's how I know that they received their money. Because they were giving you receipts from the week behind. That's why every time I called, when they would go back in the account and take more money, they would tell me that was for last week. No. It wasn't for last week. You had already got the money for last week. You got some additional monies because I wasn't paying attention to my account. I had too many transactions. I hadn't been paying attention. I told you I've been riding around here, not logging in. That's how they went on a 3-day stealing spree with Apple Pay for 3 days after I took my new debit card up to that location. I hadn't been paying attention like I'm doing this account. By it being new and it was limited transactions, I can catch this shit. But what's happening now is not what they've been doing. They would debit my card on Friday, and I say no later than, between Tuesday and Thursday, it would hard post to my account for that week. But when they debit their card on that Friday, they will also send me a receipt for the previous week. When they debit your card every Friday, you're paying for the week forward. But they won't give you the receipt until you paying for the next week. And that receipt is going to be for the previous week. Why don't they give you the receipt for the current week? As the bank explained, in case you got something else to pay for, an additional. I'm like, you can adjust that with a new receipt. But at least give the customer a current receipt that if anything happened, they can prove that on this date, they was debited this amount. But if something happens to their money, they can't prove it with anybody because Hertz won't give them that receipt until it's 7 days later and you paying for the next transaction. You see where I'm going with that? Say something happened. You want to prove you paid for that week, that you went in there and paid, that they debited your card, but they doing this falling off the account shit. Now, you done seen it post. You did all your little checks. See, it was for that week that you went in there. But something happened. It's shit disappearing. Now you're calling them and telling them that I paid for that. They telling you, no, you didn't. That payment was for last week. That's what happened with all this falling off shit. That's what happened with all this falling off shit. Now, I know when you check in the hotels, they have you pay up front. In advance. They are listed as travel. Just like Hertz. Hotels have you pay in advance. Just like cruises do. They are travel. You pay in advance. Those charges with the cruise, you pay in advance. And any additional charges gets charged when the cruise is over. But your room is paid for before you get your ass on that motherfucking cruise. Your room at a hotel is paid for before your motherfucking ass check in. They ain't debiting your card and letting it fall off. And you go stay in that motherfucking room for 2 and 3 goddamn days. Them bitches getting their money. Just like Hertz was getting their money. This little falling off shit was a scam and they were stealing. And I still say that. I didn't see my earnings that I put over here. I've seen a whole day earnings disappear. I had put $200 something in the account and it didn't post to the account. But the bank said it did. But my balance didn't go up. I told you I have been out here driving and I would see money disappear off the account. It happened yesterday. A trip was $8 and something. At the time of that trip, I had already had $198. That trip should have put me over to $200 and something. But it didn't. Tell me why that young man got out. I swiped the trip, completed. I go to my earnings. It still said $198. Because they stealing. And if you don't believe me, then you need to look up the lawsuit with New York. What was going on with the earnings? That shit's still going on. Who doing that shit? So right now, I'm able to pay close attention. So I'm in the negative. And so let's talk about Huntington Bank. Huntington. I want to see what's happening with the 293 that put me in the negative and took it more and took it up to $556 and some change. And then turned around, some miscellaneous money got deposited. I'm telling you, I think either this is somebody investigating and you had these two banks do that shit on purpose. Because I had a guy get in here. They know it's you. You know, they know fraud. If they determine it's you. But he act like he was talking about another individual. But the way he was saying it, it's like he's directing that to me. I'm not doing none of this shit. And you sit up here, and if I find out that you sit up here and let these banks, you had these banks set this shit up to inconvenience me, put me in the negative, damn near gave me a heart attack, chest pains, a stroke, because I'm in a negative for no damn reason. You posted shit to just like that provision. That provision was not given to me. I didn't need a provision for a disputed charge on 2/21 because I didn't dispute that charge. The only charge that was disputed was on the 18th. And the bank told me it didn't need to be disputed because it fell off. It was going to fall off because it seen it was an invalid charge. Who did that? I talked to Hertz. They said, the billing department said the charge for this I did on the 17th that I authorized on the phone for them to charge from the location on the 17th. She said it must have didn't went through and somebody else reauthorized it. But you can't reauthorize a charge without confirming it with me. You need to let me know what's going on before you just take your ass and do that shit. I authorized a charge that I saw on my account. And then the next day I woke up, I saw not only that charge, but another charge that happened on the 18th. I went in there disputing that. That's what I disputed. But she looked it up. She said something funny with this second transaction. I said, because I called the billing department, and she said the charge for the 17th didn't go through, and somebody else sent it back through, and then she gave me a code to give to the bank. The bank said, we don't do codes. But according to what I see here, the charge for the 17th that you did go through. It's the 18th. That appears not to be a valid charge. It was all in red and just something was wrong with it. Okay. Now, Hurt saying somebody else must have put it through. The bank saying it ain't a valid charge. If Hertz put it through, it would have been a valid charge and came out my account. Who put it through the second time? This is what I'm talking about. Just because you listed as travel don't give you the right to go overdraw somebody's damn account. You know the hell you got to go through to get this shit straightened out. How inconvenienced you are if you don't have more money in your account and that when they overdraw it, you ended in negative like I am. I started to take the day off today and I'm glad I didn't. Because now I'm in the negative $59.78. But back to Huntington. I tried to log into the account, and Huntington would do this every time I was trying to investigate an issue with a Hertz rental car payment. All of a sudden, I try to log into my account, and they're having maintenance on the account. Now, I haven't seen this maintenance message in quite some time with Huntington. But now, when I wanted to log back on, which I forgot to do, which I should have did before midnight, and seen what was going on with that transaction, with the miscellaneous money added and the one that was on there that took me in a negative. But because they added that miscellaneous, it took me back down to the regular negative that I was in. They're just leaving me in a trail of negative. Negative. I owe all this goddamn money. I got a bill I got to pay that was supposed to be paid on the 18th for $300. I don't got it. I had money. I don't got it. I can't come out here every day just making money, paying it out, and I don't have shit. I need clothes. I can't buy shit. My refrigerator empty. I'm buying $5 flip-flops now. I'm wearing shorts from goddamn 2 years ago. I wore these bitches. I had these bitches before I went to my cruise. Hoodie, whole winter. And I'm still in the hoodie. It is spring. Wearing glasses. Because I need new glasses. I need my eye exam for my contacts. It's been a year for that. It's been that long that I've been trying to get my money back on track. These motherfuckers got me paying out shit left and fucking right. You put me in the negative and kept me in the negative because you knew I had to make that payment by the 18th. And then, when it looked like the money I was going to put in today would get that payment in, I go on the account, now the $293.30 that came in. You see where I'm going with this? So let me show you what happened with the maintenance. Oh, and to just let you see that $291, the auto extend, is still on there. As of April 18th, that's when the charge went on there. So how come that pre-authorized charge is still on there and the $293 that wasn't and fell off? It's still on there. You know why it's still on there? Because I've been making videos about the shit. That's why it's still on there. So they got to temporarily stop They bullshit, let it die down, and then they start it back up. You see, I had a little money. I had a little money. All that money gone. All this money going out on bills. It's the credit for the DTE. I was able to buy something to eat. Legends Coney Island on Mount Elliott. I bought a chef salad and 6 wings. Bit into the first wings, it had a black string in it. I ended up throwing it out. This is what they do. Gas station. Gas. My snacks. This is all I'm able to buy. That's all. That's all. I don't have no money. They keep wiping me out. Since I've been dealing with this rideshare shit, and after that fucking cruise, this has been the status of my finances. It ain't no gambling wiping me out. It's this shit with this rental car. It's this shit with the rideshare. It's this shit with all these bills coming in. It's this shit with these disappearing transactions. So let me show you. Huntington, look at that. Scheduled maintenance till 6 a.m. So I can't go on here to see what has taken place with the 293 that was subtracted out, and then the 293 that came in as miscellaneous. But this is what they do. Every time I'm trying to investigate or keep up with something, they used to throw the maintenance on there. I'm trying to see if my earnings went in my account. They throw the maintenance up there. I kid you not, I had a whole day's earnings disappear. I sent it over into the bank, and I believe they had a scheduled maintenance. But when I looked at my balance, it didn't show it went over in there, and I didn't see it on my transaction ledger. But I didn't. Somebody had switched my email setting to where that's why I wasn't getting alerts of emails. Somebody had toggled it, that turned the notifications off. I told you they go into the phone to do that. They were doing it with the surveillance camera. They go in here, they was toggling shit off. They were toggling shit off. And you think I'm making this shit up. The only reason it looks like, it appears like the transactions is going the way the new bank said, is because this has been nothing but a fucking game. I'm telling you, when they debit your card, you debit it for the week forward. The bank don't take 7 days to post that shit. They don't. So, and they claim it's when the merchant send it back in. What if it wasn't a merchant that made it fall off? What if it was the card provider? Because that's what the new bank said. That glitch happened with the card provider. And I told you, how you double charge me for DTE and DTE don't have the money? They had to wait till the card provider released it. So, but the card provider had my 134.02, but you made it look in my transactions as if it went to DTE. Glitch my ass. I'm telling you, they've been stealing. And now, because I've been making these videos, I believe the thief is on YouTube. I believe he's been watching my YouTube, and he's going back behind everything I say and making changes. I've seen it happen before. When I told you Uber was verifying people's accounts, and the verification icon used to be a different color until I made that video. And now that's a different color. I told you somebody went in the app and changed the color of the car from brown to blue. And they ain't changed it back since. Somebody went in the app and did that. I have no capability of changing the car's color. Period. That's all on Uber's side. They switched my journal in the apartment. This is what's going on. So I just wanted to make this video. It's a long one. I didn't mean to get it 34 minutes. But I just want you to see what's going on. They're trying to cover their tracks by making it appear this is how they were doing their processing. They were not debiting the account on Friday and waiting until Saturday for the post. It was posting that week. That's how I was keeping track of it. That's how I knew I was up to date. That's how I knew I didn't miss any payment and they had got all their payments. That's how I knew. Until the bank come up with this provision. I wasn't thinking about nothing else until this bank come up with this provision shit. And I think it was a way to recoup that money that they let them take, that they weren't supposed to take, that I had a receipt for. Because it was paid. It was paid. I don't care what they say, what you do, how you explain their process. I'm telling you, their process changes. Damn near every week. There's something different. Every situation, their process changes every goddamn problem it causes. Why don't you talk to the other renters at Hertz? Instead of just talking to me only. Why don't you talk to the other renters and ask them how much money been taken from them? What didn't happen to them in their bank account? I've been in there where they walked in there talking about they glitch overdrawn their account. And they stand there and there wasn't nothing they can do. But they needed to pay for their rental, but they overdrawn because of a glitch. That's why they should have let me get that car when I went to drive time. Drive time bullshitted me. I should have had my own car. And I wouldn't be dealing with this. This stealing shit. I just had to be watching my earnings for the theft, not this bullshit. I wouldn't be dealing with this shit. I wouldn't have to deal with this shit. But somebody made it to where they want me to deal with this shit. And I'm sick of it. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of fucking being broke. Now I got to transfer my earnings over in there, what I got so far, and $59.78 of it about to be ate up. Because the account is overdrawn. And then I got to come up with the money for the other overdrawn and the Chase Bank. Because they overdrawn my account trying to make it look like I'm doing this shit. And it's their ass. I'm paying a thief. Now you overdrawing the account to get the money. Because I've been telling them what you've been doing. Now you going to just overdraw the account. Force me to pay the shit. And I'm still paying the fucking thief. I ain't got no money to do shit. I can't take a break. I can't take a rest. I can't do shit. I can't buy clothes. I can't buy food. I can't do shit. And I'm sick of this shit.